Yeah. Just going to chant a little bit while people kind of get settled. There's many coming in. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. And I think I just saw someone else kind of squeeze through the door, so we'll make room for that. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about a little subject that we'll try and integrate in our practice here this morning. And it's something that I've kind of have called the 3 pillars of human awareness. So the 3 pillars of human awareness. And so the first pillar, if you will, is what we kind of find in this more material layer of our waking state awareness. So I call this the awareness of experience. And it is the awareness of physical experience, thinking, and feeling. So it's everything that the apparatus of the physical form can produce that we attend to in this more gross level of our perception. So again, the awareness of experience, thinking, emotion, in other words, feeling, and then say physical experience of the body. These are all very dense fields of perception, very like our most gross way that we can experience the world. And, we attend to this layer of experience about 99% of the time, mostly. The next is this thing that I call the awareness of perception, the awareness of perception. And in yoga, there's this thing called the tanmatras. And the tanmatras are the energies that support the senses. So I'll say that again, the energies that support the senses. So in an understanding of yoga is that the 5 elements are connected to the 5 senses. And within the 5 elements, there's an energy that organized those. And so there's this thing called siddhi, and it means super normal or supernatural power. And so we all have heard of clairvoyance or clairaudience. Well, in yoga, what happens is in the more refined state of perception, one has supernormal capacities of our sense experience. Like you can, hear things, or you can smell the subtle fragrance of things, different values. There's this one Indian yogi, and this is written in autobiography of a yogi, where there was this one being that was able to produce the fragrance of a flower out of thin air. People would come around him and they'd smell a rose or a daisy or whatever it was, and it was illuminating for them. And the capacity of this individual was able to organize the vibration of prana that created the smell of the flower with his mind. And so there's that layer. So again, the awareness of perception. And what we really, the place point for this is our capacity to be in the pranic climate of our being. And this is something that we stir up in our yoga asana practice. So we kind of invoke these pranic capacities where then we can perceive them, And so the awareness of perception ultimately is the awareness of the pranic layer of the creation. And then finally, and this is like going through the gradation of the capacity of our being, is essentially the awareness of awareness, or the awareness, if you will, of the witness in us. And what happens is when we bring our mind to begin to concentrate on these different layers of experience, there's a thing that happens to the mind because it becomes progressively more still. Because the ability to, say, focus on a sensation that you're having in the body in your asana practice is pretty simple. Sometimes it's screaming at you, or other times it's just very obvious. And then we move, into this awareness, if you will, of the subtle fabric of the creation, of the pranic climate. And that's perceived through the fabric of something that's more subtle. And then standing behind all that is the witness, and the necessity, if you will, of stillness to access that point is really supreme. But it also is revealed to us too. And I would say the layering that we get in Shavasana, in corpse pose at the end of our practice begins to support that capacity within us. So that's all, folks. and and so we'll experiment with that today. And I imagine that something will happen around that, or it may have already happened to you, which you already know. So gently let the eyes close down. Come into a comfortable seat, of course. And so we'll first explore the awareness of experience. So I'll first invite you to feel the sits bones grounded into the seated position, whether it's on a block, a blanket, your mat, otherwise. Just feel a sense of being grounded and stable. Let the elbows kind of drape under the shoulders. So sometimes we'll slide the hands up the thighs so the elbows are directly under the shoulders, and that allows for a broadness in the torso, in the chest. We can kind of be lackadaisical in the seated position, but the invitation is to create some length here. So allow the muscles of the back to engage. Maybe the shoulder blades slide down the back, supporting not only the openness of the torso, but also extension in the spine. Maybe a little extra juice through the crown of the head to lengthen the spine. You notice the core is toned here, and you want to soften the belly to breathe into the belly. So begin that now or whenever it's suitable, the diaphragmatic breath. And then just notice how you feel. So if there's any kind of emotional state that's appearing, just be in observation of that. Notice how the stillness of the body supports the stillness of the mind. And the mind will, the thinking mind, that is, the cognitive mind, will participate in that for a moment, but then its samskaras, its karmas begin to emerge and want you to do this or that, want you to think about something. So all the awareness of experience. And this is a necessity for our life in the world. The more that we can, frankly, be in collaboration with this, the more we can understand ourselves. So often, thoughts or feelings, sensations are produced without our moment-to-moment awareness or participation. For the yogan, present moment perception essentially means being present with everything in the moment. Awareness of experience. And then just begin to subtly perceive, say, the field that surrounds the body. But then to do that, allow like this subtle awareness to move from the inside out. It's a very fascinating capacity to develop. Awareness from the core of the being out. So that one begins to recognize that you're the anchor of awareness itself. And there's almost like a ghost that stands behind all of that. A luminous shadow. A bright creature. Awareness. And somehow we can feel the stillness. And this awareness of perception. So we're utilizing this greater capacity of all the layers of the being. This is your realization. This is your awakening, really. So gently bring hands to prayer here. Just chant the mantra of Om a few times as a vibrational aspect of self-development and this homage really to the illuminated self. So exhale the breath here and then take a big inhale. This time. Namaste and good morning, everyone. So let's gently open the eyes here and we'll come off of the seated position to all fours. Just make our way to tabletop. Take a moment there and just move the body, pretty familiar territory for us all. Let's come into this class. And so just allow for these a few moments to be fully your own. Just move and feel and breathe and experience, right? And so we don't ever be shy, say, of the layer of Prithvi, so earth experience. The yogis, they really had this dialed in. The Tantra yogis called this sakala, and that means with parts, or right near guna, with the, or saguna rather, saguna with the gunas. So recognition of the layers. Uh-huh. Prithvi is earth, elements, Prithvi, earth, Jala, water, Agni, fire, Vayu, air, Akash, ether. And then take another moment or two to open up your experience. Maybe recognize, any feelings or thinking that's coming up. And also, it's interesting in our asana practice, we also judge all the time, honestly, like how something is feeling in the body. And that can be helpful. At times, one might suggest that if we meet experience with the energy of samatha, equanimity, then we don't develop patterns of, if you will, attachment or avoidance. Those are like the big things that, hook us into, like, you know, running towards something or moving away from something. And if we develop that pattern, then, all of our life has that in it. And that's the things that we want to kind of free ourselves from ultimately. And then we'll meet in down dog here when you're ready. So, Aramukas Vanasana. And just take any moments here to move with feel and again fully experience. We're very fortunate, just so you know, to practice yoga because in the Tibetan Buddhist lineage, when they first came to the United States, they saw, and this was a long time ago, 40, 50 years ago, all these Americans are not, all but a few doing asana, and they were shocked. They were like, why are all these people doing asana? Because in their tradition, you would have to practice devotion for a decade before you could do yoga poses. And the reason is that when you do yoga pose, it's actually a spiritual practice because it's awakening the subtle energy layers, and that's considered a spiritual quality, just so you know. It's a very special thing. We almost, take for granted. It's like every yoga pose is a prayer with the body, Really ground the roots of the fingers and internally rotate the upper thighs to really get some spinal extension here. And then sometimes the upper arm bones, they internally rotate, so drape the triceps towards the earth to externally rotate the upper arm bones. And that just broadens the framework of the body. The breath comes online here. And then we'll meet in Balasana, so we know that's child's pose. So knees, earth, hips, heels, forehead, earth, hands drift back to the ankles here. Breathe into the belly. Mm-hmm. Ooh. I always found that story pretty amazing. then we'll meet back in down dog. So just gently float to tabletop. So that hips back. And dog. So kind of get comfortable in the pose, in a place where it feels like the experience of sensation finds its, its orientation. Right? It isn't too dynamic. It's there. And then there's the stillness feature. And then allow the stillness of the physical body to support the awareness of perception. And then we'll meet in a forward fold. So just gently walk the feet to the hands here. Uttanasana. Notice that little space between the feet. Hips eventually kind of stack over the ankles. So ankle, knee, hip, some lines and meat, stretch. So you get to have a little bit of a stir if you want to create some traction in the spine here, a little grab opposite elbows, things. Join in. A little movement of the torso even. And then take a nice big inhale and hold the breath in. So inhale, hold the breath, and kind of push the stomach out a little bit as you keep holding the breath. And then exhale. Then half lift here, so hands mid-chins lengthen from tail to crown. Take a moment there, kind of spiral the upper thighs so there's a broadness that begins to develop in the pelvic floor. Yeah, it's a very interesting point inside the body. The tip of the coccyx is subtle body structure. The Brahmadwara is what it is. It's the door of Brahma, the gateway of Kundalini. Inhale, breath. Next, exhale, lengthen out as you pull down. Chin tucks, hands release. So again, inhale, flat back, lengthen from spine. Pause there, and maybe find that point inside the body, the tip of the coccyx. Just breathe into that, and then it might feel a little awkward in this position, but it's really intersect. Big inhale, next exhale, lengthen out, and pull down, chin tucks. And we'll do this one more time. Inhale, fall back. Exhale, fold, and a little bend knees, then send the left leg back into a lunge. We'll stay here in this high runner's lunge, Anjaneyana Asana for a moment. Yeah, firm up the back leg, quad, and then ground the left hand firm, little twist, float the right hand to the sky. Yeah, just feel into that. Yeah, let's move the shoulder joint a little bit. So take a nice big inhale, and exhale, float the hand forward. Right, and then just sweep it back, and so just stir the arm a little bit in the joint. So let's move it. Just feel into that. Yeah, get some of the joints working here. Mm-hmm. And then reach the hand straight to the sky, and then bend the elbow, draw the hand to the back of the head, and just lift the chin, and then lean back into it a little bit. So lean back. Kind of drape the right shoulder blade towards the spine here. Go into that. Oh. And then gently release the left knee to the earth. Stay here. And then bend the left knee and capture the left foot or ankle with the right hand. And if you really need to pad the patella, please do so. It's going to be a lot. Stay with the breath. Keep the heart opening. Breathe deep. So just notice how your awareness likely is watching what's happening in your quad. And then recognize that, but move past that into just a greater field of how you're perceiving a broader experience, essentially. A big inhale. Next, so gently release the foot. Hand plants, that right hand high plank is where we're going to move. So set that right like that. Stay with the breath. Just breathe here. The hips are lifting until the belly button kind of draws to the spine. So just kind of cinching up the core. Stay with your breath. I was kind of thinking today I want to do a little bit of core. And so float the right leg here, hip height. Take a nice big inhale. And exhale, right knee, right elbow. Give a little squeeze. And then inhale, leg behind you. And exhale, knee to chest. Squeeze. And then inhale, leg behind you. And exhale, right knee, left elbow. Squeeze it and hold it. Okay. And then inhale, leg behind you. And exhale, release it down and switch it out. So for the left leg, pause here. Really extend the leg back, a little spiral of that thigh to the sky. Inhale, breathing. And exhale, left knee, left elbow, squeeze. Inhale, leg behind you. Exhale, knee to chest, squeeze. And then inhale, leg behind you. And exhale, left knee, right elbow, squeeze and hold. Just stay with the breath. And then inhale, leg behind you. Exhale, release down. Inhale, breath. Exhale to the knees, to the belly. Salulambasana we're going to start with this morning, which is locust pose. So draw the hands down by the sides, the palms to the earth. Exhale the breath. And first, just inhale, float the torso and bend the elbows. And then squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another. Yeah, so palms to the earth here. Stay with the breath. That externally rotates the upper arm bone. The elbow can bend a little bit and just kind of pull your body into this. Yeah, stay with your breathing. And the inhale breath. Exhale, torso down. And then again, inhale, float the torso. Pause here, and then float the legs. Stay with the breath. Oh, yeah. So just notice that you may be like guided towards your experience. And then there's, right, the awareness of perception. Inhale, breath. Exhale, release down. One more of these. Inhale, float torso and float legs. Breathe. Squeeze shoulder blades. Lift the legs a little higher. Inhale, breath. Exhale, release down. Hands under the armpits. Inhale, float up into tabletop. And then exhale gently back into child's pose extended. Breathe into the belly. Oh yeah, inhale, high plank. Down dog meat, or tabletop rather. Medium down dog. Breathe. Nice. And then step the left foot to the left hand here. Again, Anjaneyasana. Right stance. Fingertips first. Turn up the back leg. And then ground the right hand. And then float the left arm. Just reach up. Twist open. That little spin of the wrist if you want. Inhale, breath. Next, I just begin to move the arms. So just stir the shoulder, just forward, just big sweeping movements. Whatever may feel appropriate for your shoulder. Oh, yeah. Bring the arms straight to the sky. And then bend the elbow, hand to the back of the head, lift the chin, lean back into it. Firm up the back leg quad here. Stay with the breath. Just keep opening up. And then release the right knee to the earth. And then bend the right knee, capture the foot or ankle. Left hand. Stay with the breathing. Stretching the quad. And then allow your awareness to migrate just from experience to the awareness of perception. Inhale, breath. Exhale, release the foot. Big step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Nicely done. Take a moment here. Breathe, feel. Very nice. All the layers of our being. So often we're just serving, if you will, these more apparent capacities within us. And yoga is just like, nope, we're way beyond that. Then inhale, half lift here, pause, hands and chins. Yeah, and then pull bend knees, cactus your arms from meeting, standing, reach, arms tall. Put a little sway in the body. Spin the wrists. Breathe deep. And then just notice, like, again, the awareness of perception. This field of perceiving that exists from the inside out. Inhale, your breathing. Exhale, the hands behind you and lace fingers. Inhale, extend front spine. And exhale, hinging the hips to open. The knees goes a long way here. Hands and arms float over the head. You can re-straighten the legs as appropriate. Breathe deeply. And nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release the grip of the hands. Now the right leg goes back in the foot torso and the foot arms. We'll come up into crescent, adjusting. Firm up the back of the quad. Lift the heel as much as you can. Come all the way up on the big toe and just reach as tall as you can. And then let the hands drift back and draw the pubic bone back. Firm up the back of the quad with an inhale. Cactus the arms, let your heart just flourish here. Inhale, breath. Exhale, pulse forms. Inhale, sweep open. Exhale, pulse. And again, inhale, sweep open. Exhale, pulse. Hands to prayer, reach to the sky. Take the left hand to the left waist. Exhaling. Inhale, reach the right hand forward, twisting to the left. So fist with that right hand, elbow on the outside of near thigh. Sinking armpit to knee, left hand covers the right. Draw the left shoulder away from the left ear. Firm up the back leg quad. Open the arms if you choose. So right hand earth, left stars. Stay with the breath. And then possibly draw that left arm over the head towards the front of the room and reassert the strength of the back leg quad. Breathe here. Right? And then pivot to observation. Pivot away from just being in the extremes of form and experience. Big inhale. Exhale, release the twist. Nicely done. Hands plant. High plank. High push-up. And then be very aware of the sensations that the body has when a form is released, because the capacity of that experience is always going to be governed by the subtle body. Inhale, breath. And exhale, release the knees all the way to the belly. This time, extend the hands and arms long in front of you. Yeah, so the arms are long. Ground firmly. The left hand and float the right arm and the left leg. So right arm and left leg. Stay with your breath. Oh, yeah. And then release arm and leg down, and then pull left arm and right leg. Yeah. Breathe here. Stay with your breath. And release down. Pause for a moment here. Exhale, breath. Then inhale, float torso and legs and arms. Float everything up. Squeeze the back of the body. Yeah. And then cactus the arms. And then lift higher. Just squeeze the back of the body. Stay with the breath. Nice big inhale. And exhale, release everything down. Pause for a moment, not done. Exhale your breathing. And then inhale, float up. Cactus the arms again. Legs, torso, upper body, arms. Breathe. And then draw the hands behind you and interlace the fingers. And then lift higher. Just keep squeezing the body into it. Stay with the breath. Breathe. Nice big inhale. Exhale, gently release down. Hands plant under armpits. Inhale up into tabletop gently. Child's pose again. Nicely done, friends. Oh, yeah. See, what we understand in yoga is that there's these 5 pranavayus: Apan Pran, Saman Pran, Udan, and Vyan. And this is considered an energetic fabric that supports the biophysical functions of the physical body. And this is, in my view, the most relevant part of asana, is the movement of the 5 pranavayus, because then that supports the physical form, its wellness, but then allows our awareness to attune to that capacity. But we got to know that it exists first, really. Okay, I think, And then inhale, tabletop, exhale, maybe back into down dog. Yeah. And then the right footsteps, right hand, so torso and arms. We come back up into Vajrasana, crescent pose. Again, take a minute to organize the body here. Feel lifts, arms reach. But be fairly deep, and extend the arms like you're trying to touch the ceiling. So let some strength come into the arms to reach up. Let's hear the breath here. And then with an inhale, release the arms. Heart flourishes here. Take a nice big inhale. And exhale, pulse forms. Sweep open. Exhale, pulse. Release and sweep open. Exhale, pulse. Prayer, reach. Pause here. And then, so we're in experience now, but then we can also, be guided towards the awareness of the perception. Inhale, breath. Exhale, right hand, right waist. Inhale, left hand, forward fist, left hand twisting, right, sinking armpit to knee. Refirm up, back leg quad. Right hand covers left, right shoulder, away from the right ear. Stay with your breathing. And then you want to open up left earth, right stars, reach. Stay with the breath. Then maybe draw that right arm over the head. Breathe. And just so move from the awareness of experience to the awareness of perception. Inhale, breath. Exhale, hand and arm down, back foot steps forward, full top of the mat. Nicely done. A moment and feel the flush. And let that flush just moving through the body. Let that experience allow for the awareness, perception to advance. Ooh. And then inhale, Ardha, half. Lift here. We'll bend knees, cactus arms, reach. And then a little sway. And the float. Hands down by the sides, little bend the knees here, pause. And just allow, again, for awareness of perception to develop. Let, like any contact of, say, awareness of experience subside. And then move your awareness from the core of the being out. Just feel the being contacting the universe in different fabrics of the 10 mantras. You sense it. Subtle smell, taste, sight, touch, hearing. So moving from earthly being to cosmic being. Just so gently open the eyes. One movement, one breath. Kind of stay in that fabric. Stay with me here. No foot, hands and arms to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Okay. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold the knees and the left leg back into lunge. Inhale, float up the body, arms reach. Again, just one movement, one breath. Exhale, float all the way out of it. Hands plant, step back. I think I push up here. Inhale, breathing. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, 8 points down. That's tongue on. Inhale, pull forward into upward facing dog. Exhale, lift the hips, stand up. Little bend knees, left foot steps, left hand here. Inhale, float, torso, arms. So again, just awareness, perception. Exhale, back foot step, pulling forward. And then inhale, reach to the sky. And exhale, hands to prayer. Really allow for your movements to be fluid. There's this aspect of Shiva, it's called Chaturvita Maya Namaha. It's this, I bow to the one whose motion is pleasing. Release the hands down, inhale, float, hands and arms up. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Down. Bow to the one whose motion is pleasing. Right leg goes back. Inhale, float upward, body, arms. Very softly, just move through space. Exhale, hands plant, step back. I think I push up here, inhale, breath. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot steps, right hand, reach, support torso. Charu Vikramaya, bow to the one whose motion is pleasing. Back foot steps, going forward. 2, stand in, you go. Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, hands to prayer. Release the hands down by the side, one more round. Inhale, float. Subtle movements. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hinge left, leg goes back. Inhale, float up the body, arms reach. Exhale, float all the way out of it. Hands plant, step back. Push up, inhale, breath. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, out of left steps. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, standing. Exhale, hard. Inhale, breath. Exhale, float the hands down. Just continuing. Exhale. Right. I think. Yeah. Urdhva. Right. Standing here. So last around each side of this, I'm just gonna practice inhale. So that's gonna be instruction. Find your way into it, friends. Left. Just perceiving last side. Right. Right. Just pause here. Open the eyes here. Inhale, reach. Toe heels and feet together. Exhale, release. Toss them here. Just take a breath. And we'll bounce in the legs. Pubic bone goes back. Inhale, breathing. Exhale, hands to prayer. Twist to the right, left elbow on the outside of the near thigh, sinking armpit to knee, possibly. You can track the outside of that left hip back. Right shoulder away from the right ear. And then open arms if you wish. Left earth, right stars. Stay with the breath. Inhale, breathing. Exhale, hand down, look down. Utkatasana, inhale, pause. We'll bounce. Inhale, breath. Exhale, prayer. And twist to the left. Sinking armpit to knee. Track the outside of that. Right hip back, left shoulder away from left ear. Again, open arms if you choose. Awareness of perception. Bring a calmness to the body. Inhale, breath. Exhale, hand down. Inhale, Utkatasana. Breathe. Give the legs a little bounce. Inhale, stand. Nicely done. Exhale, swan dive. Go through a little vinyasa of your own choosing, and we'll meet in down dog. So, down dog is the destination. How you get there is up to you. Nice, friends. And then float the right leg height. Take the leg higher, spin open the hip, leg straight initially. Keep leg straight. And extend through the big toe mound of the right foot. So reach the foot up and back as high as you can. And then ground the right hand a little more firm. And then bend the right knee. Track the foot over to the left, open up the hip. Stay with your breathing. And straighten the leg, release it down, exhaling, switching left leg, hip height. Pausing there. Take the leg higher, hip naturally spins open, keep the leg straight, work the foot higher so that your groin opens, extend through big toe mound, ground the left hand a little more firm with the weight shifted, and then bend the left knee, track it over. Stay with the breath. Then straighten the leg, so release it down, and then child's pose. A moment here. See that? That's wild. And gently inhale, come up to a seated position here. Extend the legs out in front of you. Time is such a mysterious thing to me. And so we're slightly warm for this. And so separate the feet wide, so bring the legs into a V shape, so Upavista Konasana. Some of you may want to sit on a blanket so your pelvis is straight up and down. Bring the hands behind you, let the fingers point away. And then gently close the eyes. And then bring your mind, your concentration into this place where the stretch is appearing in the inner groins. It's called the gracilis. And imagine as you inhale that you can draw the energy from the earth, from underneath the pelvic floor, into this place where the stretch is appearing in the body. The refinement of your concentration is a prerequisite here, and you may feel some sensation. It may be even more uncomfortable, or heat or tingling is common, and that's a prana that you're seeding into this area of the body. And then with your mind, relax those tissues, relax the sensation of the inner groin, and just see like, oh yeah, I can relax inside, relieve that tension. Continue to breathe into the pelvic floor, and then the relationship between energy and the body may have shifted here. And so then we begin to have this experience of perception, which is guided by the fabric of prana. And then gently here, we're not quite done. Open the eyes if they're closed. Allow the hands to go in front of you now. Ground them firmly. And then keep the front spine long. So imagine that you're extending from the root of the pelvis through the crown here, and there's a little absorption of the shoulder blades into the thoracic spine. And there's an isometric energy that's happening here. So the hands are grounding, but they're pulling towards the pelvis. And it's almost like, yeah, I don't need to do anything more than that. And if the body's open, you can walk the hands out a little further. And then, the torso, if you want, can go to the earth. Breathe here. Wow. And then gently walk the hands back towards the pelvis here. And that's suitable for you to release this portion of the pose. We're not quite done. And then spiral, or in other words, twist to the right, and then take the left hand on the outside of the right shin, move this right hand forward, and then gently possibly walk that left hand up the outside to the knife edge, of that right leg. And then spread the toes of the left foot. Stay with your breathing here. Stay with the breath. So now there's all this apparent sensation in the body, that experience, and then just kind of be the observer of it. You don't have to condition the experience. You don't have to place a value on it. You can just watch it. And then gently begin to come out of it. We're not quite done though. So take the right forearm on the inside of the right leg, that palm turns up, and then float the left arm to the sky. Breathe, and then sink a little deeper, possibly into that right hip. You choose, and then draw the arm over the head, possibly to the foot. Again, it's yogi choice here. Breathe. And then once again, we'll bring the hand to the back of the head, lift the chin, lean back into it a little bit. And then ground that right forearm. Inhale, straighten the left hand straight to the sky to come out of it, and keep reaching as tall as you can. Release the arm down. Nice. And then we'll pirouette to the left, lean over to that left side, right hand outside of that left leg. It walks up to the knife edge or wherever it's suitable. Float the left hand forward, so kind of release that compression in the left side. And then spread the toes, again, now of the right foot. Just breathe here. And then gently walk out of it a little bit, but then again, we turn now the left palm up. It grounds on the inside of the left leg. Right hand to, the sky. Breathe here. Maybe that left hand grabs the instep, the big toe, sink a little deeper into that left leg, and then draw the right arm over the head. Stay with your breathing here. Heart keeps spinning open. And then once again, bending that right elbow, hand to the back of the head, lift the chin, lean back into it a little bit. Stay with the breath, keep spinning open here. And then ground that left forearm. Inhale, reach right hand straight to the sky to come out of it. Exhale, float the arm down. And then just feel. Awareness of perception. Bring the hands to the inside of the legs, the knees here. Just walk them, float them towards one another. Dandasana again, this little transition. Pause. And a little bend the knees, and I'm going to ask that you spin around 180 degrees. Come onto your back so your heads are at the top of the mat here, all the way down. Full body stretch. You just reach the arms long over the head. Maybe point and flex the feet a little bit. Hugging the knees here into the chest. And so we can function in experience and also function in the awareness of perception. So this is developing that ideal where a fabric of our reality, of a perceptive reality, is reserved for this background of watching. And then we'll come into Viparita Karni Mudra or inversion. Here you can use a block under the pelvis. That's a great way to do this. Otherwise, the feet, legs, hips, lift, hence low back or hips. Or if the hips are on a block, that's again a great choice. Float the legs to the sky. The body eventually takes a V shape here. And gently begin to make your way out of it. A little bend to the knees here. The feet are grounded in front of a block, or release the hips from the hands earth like air brakes. Hips float gently down. You choose how to come out of it. Take a moment on a flat back here. Knees into the chest. So do our pre-shavasana, right? Kumbhak breath. Holding breath, suspension here. So send the legs out, of course, normal. You roll open, palms turn up. Get kind of oriented, how you may want for shavasana. And exhale your breath completely, and then take a nice big inhale and hold the breath in and wait on it. Hold the breath in. Silently exhale. Do this one more time. Exhale and then big inhale. Hold the breath in. Pooch out the belly as you hold the breath. This time, pooch it out. Silently exhale. purpose of this is tune up the frequency of your perception. And in Shavasana, there can be this prevailing sense of stillness. Of course, the stillness of the body is a prerequisite, and then soften the form, relax. And there's nothing to do at all. recognizing this luminous place, peace, and the awareness of awareness, the land of the nature of the cause of the being. The source of the mind, the source of the mind. And gently breathe into the belly. Just slowly reawaken the body with little movements here. And a little stretch at some point. We'll meet on the left side. So you can hug the knees, thanks, and that. The left side. Devi. And gently come to seated here, please. So just come around. It's our nature of being here again, friends. The embodiment of wisdom understands the capacity of people, the layers of awareness, their place, their purpose. Gently bring hands to prayer and just allowing like this, again, always this pilgrimage into the inner self. And in that pilgrimage is a surrender. So thank you for sharing your practice and your time here. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for being here. Yeah, really sweet day. well, friends. Love, peace.